You know, every time you tap your card, every time you log into your bank account, you might not realize it, but we are all on the front line of an invisible war. Today, we're diving deep into that war, a high-stakes digital arms race between these incredibly sophisticated fraudsters and, well, all the systems trying to keep our money safe.
Let's just start with a number that should really make you pause. $1.1 billion. That's the absolutely staggering amount of money lost to scams in Singapore in just one recent year. We're not talking about a few unfortunate incidents here. This is a massive, national-level problem.
And believe it or not, that $1.1 billion is really just the tip of the iceberg. If you look at the total since 2019, we're talking about over $3.4 billion. I mean, this is so much more than a statistic. It's a huge issue that's really starting to shake people's trust in the digital world we depend on every single day.
So the big question is, how are they pulling this off? Well, to really get a handle on the modern fraudster, we actually need to look at a timeless psychological model. It's something that explains why people commit fraud in the first place, because while the technology changes, basic human motivations, they pretty much stay the same.
And this is it. It's called the fraud triangle. It's a really foundational concept in criminology. And what it tells us is that for a fraud to actually happen, three very specific things have to be present all at once. It's kind of like the perfect storm of motive and circumstance.
So it all breaks down into these three parts. First, you've got pressure. That's the what that's pushing someone, right? Like serious debt or just pure greed. Then there's opportunity. That's the how. They found a weakness, a crack in the system they can exploit. And finally, there's rationalization. This is the why, the little story they tell themselves to make it okay. Like, oh, the bank can afford it, or it's their own fault for falling for it.
For years, all the security experts have been focused on shrinking that opportunity corner of the triangle. But technology has just thrown a giant wrench into the whole thing, supercharging what's possible for the bad guys. And the biggest game changer of all, you guessed it, artificial intelligence.
This new tech leads us to a really deeply unsettling question. I mean, what happens when the very evidence of your own senses, a familiar voice on the phone, a face you recognize on a video call, what happens when that can no longer be trusted?
The answer is something called deepfakes. Using AI, fraudsters can now create totally synthetic but unbelievably realistic audio and video. They can clone your boss's voice or fake a video call from a family member to get you to do something. The old saying, seeing is believing? Yeah, that's pretty much over.
And this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. It is happening right now. Get this. A finance worker was tricked into sending $25 million after a video conference with a deepfake of their own CFO. A bank manager in Hong Kong transferred $35 million. The threat is terrifyingly real, and the losses are just catastrophic. Okay, so the threat is escalating like crazy, but here's the good news. So is the defense. All of this has forced a major turning point in the battle. We're moving away from everyone just trying to defend themselves alone to a new coordinated line of defense that involves, well, everybody.
And that really gets to the core of this new philosophy. The fight against fraud isn't just the bank's problem anymore, and it's not just your problem. The thinking now is that to have any real chance of winning this thing, the battle plan has to be shared. This new plan is called the Shared Responsibility Framework, or SRF for short. And what it does is pretty brilliant. It creates a formal alliance, this three-pronged defense made up of the banks, the telecommunications companies, and, this is the crucial part, us, the customers. And just to be clear, this isn't some vague suggestion. This is becoming law. Starting December 16th, 2024, this framework is official. Its whole mission is to assign clear, legally defined duties to everyone involved, from the banks to the telcos to you, so we can fight these scams together. It's all about creating real accountability.
So what do these new rules of engagement actually look like in practice? Let's break down exactly what each player in this new alliance is now required to do to hold up their end of the deal.
All right, first up, the banks. Their new duties are all about creating speed bumps for fraudsters and giving you more power. For instance, they now have to put a 12-hour cooling-off period on high-risk changes. They have to send you instant alerts for any weird activity. And they have to give you a kill switch so you can freeze your own account in an emergency. On top of that, they're running 24/7 surveillance to block bad transfers before they can even go through. Next up, the telcos. They're basically being enlisted as the gatekeepers. Their job is to stop the attack before it ever even hits your phone.
So this means blocking sketchy texts from unregistered senders, actively filtering for those malicious links, and stopping criminals from spoofing official-looking phone numbers to try and trick you.
And finally, there's our part. And honestly, these duties are probably the simplest, but they might just be the most critical line of defense we have. It all boils down to smart digital hygiene, you know? Never ever share your login details. Don't click on strange links. Use the security tools your bank gives you, like fingerprint login or features like a money lock. And this is huge. Report anything that feels off immediately.
So, we've got a new framework, a new shared battle plan, which is great, but this arms race is far, far from over. As the fraudsters' AI gets smarter, and as deepfakes become literally indistinguishable from reality, it leaves all of us with one crucial forward-looking question. In the very near future, how will any of us really prove who we are?